Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Words of Ages. Today we're going to be reading quotes from Dan Pena, who's an American businessman from California, and he's a financial analyst on Wall Street. He went on to become president of Great Western Resources, a Houston-based oil company listed on the London Stock Exchange in '84. In a move backed by shareholders, Pena was ousted as president of the company in '92 and subsequently awarded $3.3 million by the American jury for suing the company over his dismissal. In '84, Pena bought Guthrie Castle in Angus, Scotland, from which he has operated several businesses. In 2017, the castle and estate manager employed by Pena at Guthrie Castle was found to have committed fraud by double or triple booking wedding facilities and paying the higher charges into their own account. Pena forgave the employee and converted the $130,000 stolen from clients. He's currently 78 years old, and we're going to be reading, racking his noodles, I would say, and going into his thoughts and his quotes. So without much ado, let's get into it. Before I had any money, I used to go to the Rolls-Royce dealers and sit in the cars and smell of the leather. Practice success before you're successful. Self-esteem is the key to high performance. Money is not the only thing in life, but it's the only thing anybody keeps track of. Before I had any money, I used to go to the Rolls-Royce dealers and sit in the cars and smell of the leather. Practice success before you're successful. Self-esteem is the key to high performance. Money is not the only thing in life, but it's the only thing anybody keeps track of. You can't have a dream come true unless you have a dream. It's not work if you love what you're doing. It's not work if you love what you're doing. But does that look like your group? If you left at the engineers, no car would ever come off the assembly line. But does that look like your group? If you left it at the engineers, no car would ever come off the assembly line. Focus on the few, not the many. And most of you don't believe passionately in what you're doing. What gets measured gets accomplished. You just got to do it. But I'm high on life. I always have been high on life when they look in the mirror, Brian. They don't like what they see. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. I had no money to begin with. Some $820. First 10 years of my starting CNN, I slept on my couch. I didn't have an apartment. Bill Gates slept in the office. Steve Jobs slept in the office. And I can go down a whole list. Now these are super successful, mega wealthy guys. I slept in my office. Not everybody is willing to make that sacrifice, but it's not the only thing. Even if you don't want to sleep in your office, if you want to send your kids to a better school, if you want to be able to take care of your mother when she gets dementia, if you want to do this, all takes money. My children aren't getting any of my money when I die. Very Warren Buffett. 2 of my kids are cool with it. 1 of them is not so cool with it, but I'm not gonna, I think Andrew Carnegie, by the way. I thank Andrew Carnegie, by the way. Andrew Carnegie, arguably the richest, most successful entrepreneur of all time, he said that the best thing you can have for a child is for him to be born into poverty, and I agree. Practice within when you're without. Practice being successful. How many people listen to this today? Practice being successful today. What does it mean to practice? Do affirmations through going to the Rolls-Royce dealer, maybe Lamborghini, maybe something else in my particular case as well as Royce. And within a year, he's going to a Rolls-Royce dealer. I had a Rolls within 19 months of me dreaming and adding it to my goal as a castle on an island. I own Qatar Castle. So how can people practice being successful? Affirmations, visualize, go shop for these things, go to the stories you can't afford. Go hire lawyers you can't afford. Lawyers will meet with anybody. Accountants will meet with anybody. Go to the big 4 accountants with a business idea. The first couple of meetings are for free. Jettison probably a lot of the people you hang around with. If you have poor public skills, join Toastmasters, join improv, do these. If you could, it went to a good school and you're not successful, go to the alumni ideals, okay? I didn't go to a good school. I'm a perfect living example that a lot of trouble as a kid, working class background, My parents went to just a mediocre university, and I had flunked out of 3 times before I graduated with honors and had no money to begin with at $820. There's no money, but $820. So it's all possible. I devoted myself to feeling successful. I was wearing suits like this before I could afford them. If you could pick up the phone and make a phone call to the 20-year-old Pena, what advice would you give that young man? It's the same advice I give, the best advice that I got. Just do it. Most people procrastinate because they're unsure. Just do it. Just imagine you drove your car through life with the emergency brake on. It's bad for the transmission, it's bad for the tires, it's bad for the universal, it's bad for everything. Then you take, oh geez, the emergency brake's on. Then you realize the brake. What happens? Surge ahead, right? Most of us go through life with our emergency brakes on, and most of us keep the emergency brake on because we want a reason not to test ourselves. Follow your dreams and don't listen to the conventional wisdom, no matter what they say, because conventional wisdom is almost always wrong. Just remember, dress British and think Yiddish. Quite a bit of radical ideas, I would say, and one that I vehemently agree with. If you like what you heard today, make sure to like, share and subscribe our video. Please be sure to drop in a comment or two. It really helps us. Be sure to press the bell icon so that all of our videos, you get the notification for all of them. And if you enjoyed what we do, please do share it with your friends. I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in.